Hail Grande Alive. This is your weekly Newsish Roundup, brought to you by Grande Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, anythingdigital.com, and EONI. And speaking of electricity, do you know what the B2H line is? Well, if you don't, 10 years ago, Idaho Power, a power company located in Boise, contacted your local county commissioners here in Union County about a 500 megawatt electrical line they were planning to run from Boise to Hermiston right through Union County. Ever heard of it? Well, I hadn't heard of it much before this week, but I got the opportunity to sit down with a couple of our county commissioners these last couple days and learn about the history of the B2H electrical line.
I don't know, 10, 11 years ago,
Sure.
Idaho Power came in and met with me and the planner and laid out a map and showed us that they wanted to build a power line from Boise to Boardman. And I mean, that was the first thing we heard about it.
Sure.
And the map showed it going right through the middle of the Grand Round Valley and all that, and we said, nah, that isn't going to work.
Sure.
Do something different. But that was the initial process. Now, they had picked the route, and they got so much pushback, they went through a process and looked at every possible route they could think of, okay? Going up into Washington and around, going down through the Grande Valley and around. I mean, they went back and reviewed the whole thing. And it came out that this is what they chose for the route.
Sure.
Now, when they came to us, we said, we think you need to follow the existing 230 volt line, except keep it out of the view shed of La Grande.
Sure.
Okay, that was the position the commissioners took at that time. And it took the BLM, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years to come up to their process.
Sure.
And they took the route all the way through, okay?
And ever since this process began, the line, at least here in our county, has been an electric subject, to say the least. Many people don't want to see the power line come through, and those people who don't want the line cite the lack of need for more electricity as one reason to keep it out. But according to Steve McClure, both the Oregon and Idaho Public Works Department have agreed that in about 2025 there will be a need in our two states for further power development. McClure also said that there is even a need right here in the county.
There's a lot of people in this community don't think it's necessary. There's a huge group out there that just think that this is with the changing environment and the way electricity is going to be distributed and produced, they don't think it's necessary. So there's a huge piece out there. There's people that don't want it here, and there's people that don't want it here. You know, it's an extremely controversial position.
Absolutely, yeah.
I see some value for additional electricity in this community. You know, I've talked to OTEC, and the problem that they have is they don't have any capacity left in their system. I mean, I was told by the manager 3 to 5 megawatts is all he could give me for a call center or anything else. Well, that doesn't get you a call center. So the lack of electricity is a problem in this community, okay? You know, revenue is nice, but I'm not going to sell my soul either.
But even with the need, there are still 1,000 concerns to be dealt with. Concerns including the aesthetic depreciation of our hills, the disturbance of the Oregon Trail, and the environmental and cultural impacts the line will have. And County Commissioner Jack Howard, well, he says he's hopeful about the possibilities and benefits the line might provide, is skeptical Idaho Power will do what's necessary to mitigate the detrimental effects the line will have.
If you want to prove that this power line makes sense, it needs to be proved out in the next 2 to 4 years. And I don't think, since we don't have a nationally coordinated or a federal energy conservation and independence policy in place, I don't think you're going to get that solution. So when you talk about balance, it ain't going to happen. I'm sorry to say it that way. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers on this track. The real test for me is the entire set of mitigation strategies.
Sure.
How do we mitigate for fire, for water rights, for access to forest, for elk, big game, for basic personal private property rights, which are being mitigated, consistency through the federal government practices. I don't see yet any full economic assessment for those mitigation costs.
Sure. But whatever the outcome of the line, Steve McClure says it's his responsibility as the county commissioner to keep the public informed. He also said that it's the responsibility of you, the public, to voice your concerns about the line. The ultimate decision which path the power line follows isn't Steve McClure's or any other person in Union County. It's the responsibility of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and the more of your concerns they know about, the more likely your concerns are going to be taken into account. McClure said you can contact Idaho Power directly, write your state environmental and public works departments, or even contact him and your other county commissioners to voice your concerns. You can also listen to the entire interviews I did with both McClure and Howard, which are now posted on the Grande Live for a good summary of what's going on currently with the B2H line. The Grande Live will have more on this story as it continues, but for now, what are your opinions on the line? Your thoughts in the comments section below. This title story was brought to you by
Northwest Furniture and Mattress, best in the Northwest.
It's not very often I get to have famous people on Coffee with Will, but this week that was exactly the case when Joseph Marcell, best known for his role as Geoffrey the Butler on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and lesser known as a longtime actor in the Royal Shakespeare Company, came onto my set. I'll be honest, I was a little nervous. I didn't want to sound like a fool in front of someone who was not only a world-class actor, but also an expert on Shakespeare and his plays.
It is about our language. I mean, when you take the French or the Germans or the Russians, they revere their language, and you know that's all it is. It's just beautiful poetry.
Absolutely.
And it is poetry that's alive, and it affects you.
Bottom line, Geoffrey was brilliant, and his theories about why Shakespeare has survived so long were wonderful to listen to. And speaking of Shakespeare, Geoffrey is playing the lead role as Titus Andronicus next weekend at Riverside Park for the Grande Shakespeare Company. Titus Andronicus is a show about an old Roman general who has spent his life living for the Republic. But when he kills the son of a spiteful Gothic queen, things quickly turn for the worse, as all the things he fought to protect slowly disintegrate before his very eyes. The play is a tragedy, and some very graphic elements happen, though the company has decided to take a Hitchcockian approach by making these disturbing events happen off the stage. The play is not easy, and neither is the role of Titus Andronicus, said Geoffrey, who wanted a challenge as he is getting older. And I got the opportunity to ask him about how exactly he got into such a challenging character as Titus.
The thing that it is about is the word. It does not require you to impose anything about it. So when you, anything on it. So when you get your script, your role, to prepare a role in a Shakespeare play, the first thing you must do after you've read it, and it's not reading nonsense, 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 my line, nonsense, 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 my line. No, it's reading the whole thing. Then you have to speak it. If you sit and study it, you'll never get it. You have to speak it. You have to breathe in and say the words, and keep saying the words, and keep saying the words. And as you continue to say the words, you begin to discover what it is about. You begin to discover how the character expresses himself, how he holds himself when he's speaking. And it all comes out of the words. And there are characters in the play, but nobody expresses themselves in the same cadence. Everybody speaks, and although they're all speaking English, they speak it entirely differently. And so you find the essence of your character. What that requires from you is not to bring it down to you, but to go up to meet it. And that's a terrific challenge.
Overall, the conversation was a wonderful back and forth with a man who has spent his life on the stage and in front of the camera and has come away with a lot of laughs, renown, and profound insights into our most beloved of cultural writers. The rest of this conversation can be viewed on our Facebook page. Also, like I said, be sure to check out Titus Andronicus on the 9th to the 11th of this month at Riverside Park. The play is free and open to the public. And speaking of upcoming events, here's the rest of your weekend's happenings with Emily Adair from Go Magazine and Get Out and Go.
Hi, I'm Emily Adair from Go Magazine and the Observer newspaper.
And I'm Will Bowman from the Grande Live, and this is Get Out and Go.
Go Magazine is your calendar of events happening in Northeast Oregon. This week's magazine features the Little Big Art event in Baker City. The art exhibit combines the monthly First Friday Art Walk with the spirit of giving.
About 620 pieces of art were created for the event, and they will be on display in businesses throughout downtown Baker City. Every sale benefits a local or regional cause.
Small works are also the subject of a Pendleton exhibit, which features several Grande artists. The exhibit will open with a reception for the artists this week.
In Joseph, the Backcountry Bash will feature 3 well-known alternative country musicians. Cody Canada headlines the all-day music festival.
The annual East-West All-Star Shrine Game is returning to Baker City, along with several activities for the whole family. There will be a breakfast, parade, and tailgating before the big game.
Go Magazine also looks at several musical performances and the Wallowa County Fair, which packs in 8 full days of events and activities.
For more information, grab a copy of this week's Go Magazine, which is the product of The Observer and Baker City Herald. We're also online at GoNortheastOregon.com, and you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
For more local content, check out thegrandalive.tv. Thanks for tuning in to Get Out and Go. And that's your weekly Newsish Roundup. This roundup was brought to you by Ronde Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Anything2Digital.com, and EONI. Please like and share this video and tune into thegrandalive.tv for more local content. I'm Will Bowman.